Honest rules here again. The last math lesson I did was a little bit high up on the calculus, and I figure the next help I could offer in fixing confusing concepts would be something a little something that everybody struggles with. Negative numbers. So I figured a little mini lesson fixing up how to work with negative numbers might be a good idea. That might help a lot of students out. So let's start with addition and subtraction. So let's start with a good old math problem. Let's see. We'll do something, I don't know. Keep it on the page. -5 plus 8. So when you're doing negative numbers with addition and subtraction, something always to remember, and that's that the first number here, oh, these drawings are going to be bad. The first number here only means your starting position. Defaults to 11 every time. So that's it, just a little wider. There we go. So what does this mean? This means no matter where I am, that no matter where I am, this number right here, its negativeness or positive, doesn't matter because all it determines is where we are starting. So I'm going to put a little dot right there. I'm starting here. That's what it represents. And then the next thing I'm going to say for this right here, this number, the only thing that number determines, interesting, is do you go left or right? That's all this number right here designates. So if positive, you're just going to go to the right. If negative, you're going to go to the left. And that's it. Now, this number is positive. It's a positive number. So I'm going to go right. And you just go right that many places on a number line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we went, do this, 8 to the right. And we ended up here. And that's it. So let's do a different example. Let's do a quick, man. Oh, now I made things worse. There we go. All right. Oh, there it is, right there. Let's do another example. Why did I not see that until just now? Keeping it in the video. Anyway. So, let's do another example. This time with the number on the right being negative. So we'll do like 5 plus -7 or something. Oh. So in this case, 5 is our starting position. So we're going to put a dot here, right there. And then the -7 says go left, because negative number means left. So I gotta change that. And there you go. So start at 5, go left 7. Start at 5, left 7. So grab a pen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to here. Our new point right there. There's our answer, -2. And that's addition. Works every time, works the same technique. No worries, no problems, no fuss. That's how I do it. Next up, subtraction. Now, I'm actually going to say a controversial statement, but this is me. This is how I do it. And if you're struggling with this, follow my technique. Never use subtraction. I'm going to say it. I just don't know how to use subtraction. I'm not going to use subtraction. Instead, keep the first number the same. Change the sign to addition. And then change the sign of the second number. So what does this look like? Well, let's start with a practice problem. We'll do an easy example just to demonstrate how this works. 6 minus 3. Now, normally you just say, okay, 6 minus 3 is 3, you call it a day. But instead, what if we keep the 6 the 6? We change the subtraction to addition, and then we change 3 to -3. Now we can do it the exact same way that we have been with addition. Start at 6. That 3 tells us to go to the left. 1, 2, 3. There's our answer. Nah, that looks bad. So start at 6. Head on over 3 spaces. And there's our answer. Now, of course, this one was the easier case. Let's do one that's slightly harder. Let's do a bunch of negatives all over the place. Let's do -5 minus 2, like that. Now again, what I'm going to say is I'm not going to use subtraction. I'm just going to use addition. So -5 plus, and that 2 is currently positive, change it to negative. So -5 plus -2. And again, go back to the number line. It's a little smaller here. Start at -5. Go to the left 2, because it says go left. And we're at -7. There it is. The answer is -7. And let's do it when there are multiple negatives on the right, or multiple minus signs. So let's do a problem like -7 minus -3. Now, there's a lot of minus signs all over the place, but remember, -7 stays the same. Subtraction becomes addition. The -3 is negative, so you make it positive. And there you have it. -7 plus 3. And again, -7, that's our starting point right there. Go 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3, right there. And then there's our answer, -4. That is an easy way to use number lines to do addition and subtraction. For those of you who struggle with this type of math, with these minus signs all over the place and with subtraction and stuff like that, this technique will work for anybody. Again, it's slow, methodical, and eventually you won't need it so much. You'll be able to get the hang of it on your own. But for those of you starting out, for those of you who just struggle with negative signs and minus signs and subtraction and all that stuff, this will be a nice little trick to help with that. Now, that's addition and subtraction out of the way. Let's move on to multiplication and division. Now with them, they do have to be done differently. There is a pattern, and if you follow the pattern, it'll work every time. So for multiplication and division, if you have a positive number, oh, no, that's not a positive sign. A positive number times a positive number. I mean, you've done this before, you get a positive answer. 2 times 3 is 6. Yeah. If you have, oh, these drawings, take it slow. A positive number times a negative number, you get a negative number. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. And again, if you have a negative number times a positive number, you get a negative number. Negative 2 times positive 3 is negative 6. And then, if you have a negative number times a negative number, you have a positive number. Negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. And of course, this works for division just like multiplication. Positive divided by a positive is positive. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Positive divided by a negative equals a negative. 6 divided by negative 3 is negative 2. Good thing this ain't a Bob Ross stream. Woohoo! A negative divided by a positive is negative. Negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. And then lastly, a negative divided by a negative equals a positive. Negative 6 divided by negative 3 is positive 2. Oh, that looks awful. That's what I get using basic paint for all this. Okay. Wow, why is that peaking so hard? Just a little bit. Okay. So, but the one thing, if you have this memorized, you write this down, then you'll be fine. But has anyone ever shown why this works and what you can do with it? So I've actually found a little way of explaining it. So we'll start with like negative font again. I'm surprised that doesn't pop in. But anyway, negative 3 times 2. So let's work with this. The system I found and I like that I came up with, the first number, what that number will tell you, because it's positive or negative, what to do with that number is, it tells you to go forward or reverse. In other words, this number, if it's positive, it's going to say forward. And if it's negative, reverse. So, and then the other number here, what I like to think of this number as, I like to think of it as left or right. The way I like to think of it is, this number will tell you, do you go left or do you go right? Because the one thing they told you about multiplication, it's repeated addition. So you can do the same tricks that you were doing with the first part of this video. So going to the number line, because we can use the number line for multiplication, we're going to start at 0. Multiplication always starts at 0. It's just how it works. And now I want to go 3 places twice. That's what it means. But that 2 is telling me to go right. But that 3 is negative, so it's saying go in reverse. What does that mean? Go left. 1, 2. There's our answer. And it works. It works no matter what you are working with. So if you think of it this way and want to use a number line to help you with multiplication, this does work. Let's do another example. Let's do, I have to keep the number small so they stay in my little number line here, but let's do 3 times negative 2. Let's scoot it that way, like that, perfect. All right. So now this 3 is telling us go forward, and this 2 is telling us to go left. So we're ending up doing the exact same thing we just did. Start here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, we're there. There's our answer, negative 6. Going like so. And notice it's still following what it says here. Now let's do one with a bunch of negatives to demonstrate why it ends up becoming a positive answer. Grab this, change the font. Negative 3 times negative 2. Now it's going to follow the same principles. We are going to start at 0, right there. Now this time we are going to go in reverse. And we're going to go this, let's see, the negative 3 tells us to go in reverse. The negative 2 tells us go left. Going in reverse in the left means go right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And there's our answer at 6. This is a nice way that actually now you can use a number line to help you with multiplication. Hi. So, so that's my explanation of how to use you can use negative numbers and how you can use a number line to help you with addition, subtraction, and multiplication. Division is a little harder. I went looking to how to work with negative numbers and division and sort of why it works, but I could only come up with an explanation of like an example of how it works using money. So, oh, by the way, if there's a topic you need me to cover, let me know. Something you're struggling with. Appreciate you having here. Right now I'm wrapping up a lesson on negative numbers, how to work with them on a number line. But yeah, for division, I was thinking like what I was coming across. I have to do a lot of erasing here. Give me a second. Clear this off. Yeah, so for division, let's say we had an example of like negative 12 divided by 3 equals negative 4, like that. So the way I viewed this to kind of make sense, oh, that's gone now, is let's say that you owe $12. Let's say you owe $12 and you owe those $12 to 3 people. 3 people are positive because, you know, you can't have negative people in the world. You owe $12 to 3 people, which means you need to pay out $4 to each person. That's kind of how I viewed that. And then let's say you had a problem, looks more akin to, you have, what is it, 12, no, that font always wants to stay at 11. I gotta change it. Let's say you have $12 divided by negative 3 equals negative 4. Well, with that, the way I view that is you have $12. Because notice it's positive. You have the $12. But you need to divide it between 3 people equally. So you're going to give it out to 3 people. And then it results that you have to pay $4 to each person. So that's why it's like that. And of course, the last one, why is it that negative 12 divided by negative 3 is a positive number? View this as you owe, what is it? You owe $12 to somebody, and you're going to pay them in $3 payments. Then in the end, you have to make 4 payments to do it. It's not the best system, in my opinion. It would be nice to have a nice number line reason why to do it. But unfortunately with division, it just doesn't work out as nicely as the others. It's just the name of the game.